What's up, Facebook family? How y'all doing? Listen, jump on. I'm super excited about today because I'm going to be sharing with some ladies as well as myself. And I'm sharing this on Facebook. I have some guests with me. For those of you that are on, to every woman that's out there, hey, happy Women Supporting Women Month. Yes, happy Women Supporting Women Month. But also to those that are out there, that's just rocking out with us today. I pray that your day has been amazing. I pray that everything that you're asking, everything you're looking for, everything that you're wanting, that God is able to give it to you like never before. But I come today, of course, if you know me, you know I love Pastor Wives, right? So this is Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month. And so I am working out with some ladies, Pastor's Wives, that I want to kind of have a conversation with. If you are a Pastor's Wife, go join the Pastor's Wife Connection group where we are growing and we are learning how to stay connected to God, how to stay connected to our marriage, how to stay connected to ministry, all in that order. You got to come and be a part of that. This Thursday, I'm going live with some amazing ladies that I'm rocking out with. But today, I'm going live on my I call it the front door on my business page. I'm going live just to kind of discuss with these ladies and also showing some things. But I'm rocking out with them. So let me get them on so we can just kind of rock out and say to that person that's watching, Happy Appreciation Month. Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month.
Appreciation Month, everybody.
Yes. Happy Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month to every person that's watching the replay, every person that's on. Rock out with us. We're going to talk a little bit. We ain't going to be before you long. Ain't that what church folks say? We ain't gonna be before you long.
We ain't gonna be one more minute, Pastor. Go ahead, Pastor.
Right. But I wanted to bring them on. We just did something. We can't tell you what yet, but I'm getting ready to do something here in a couple of weeks, and I'm super duper excited. And we just did an interview for that particular thing that we're about to do. I'm not sharing it yet, but I'm excited about that. So I thank them for sharing and being a part of that with me. So we done been discussing all day, it feel like, right? We done been chopping it up about some things. That's what I say in Texas. They not from Texas, y'all. So but they learning how to chop it up with me. How to chop it up with me. But I have no one other than I met one of you last year, and then I just met one of you a couple of years ago. We talked about the power of coming together, and they'll learn more about that later. But I wanted to bring us on really quick to talk about Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month, dealing with pastor wives and the amazing things that we do as pastor wives, standing behind our sometimes bullheaded, sometimes stubborn.
Did she say that, Lady Robin?
You said it.
Yes, I said it. But we love them though, with everything in us, right? We love them. So I'm gonna introduce, just kind of tell them who you are, where you're from, and just shout out your church and all of that great stuff. And your hubby, shout it out, shout it out. I'm gonna start with you, Lady Robin. Go ahead. I'm gonna start with you.
My name is Lady Robin Lee McGee, and I am living in New Jersey. My pastor and my husband is Pastor Reverend Dr. Kenneth McGee Jr. He's been pastoring going on 8 years, almost 8 years now, that we have been in Red Bank, New Jersey, and looking forward to God doing some new things. We're coming into a new beginning, and we're happy about that.
I love it. Yeah. Lady Trivia. Y'all, I'm sharing this on my social media platforms, but Lady Trivia, tell them where you're from, girl.
I am from Baltimore City, Maryland. I am so excited. My husband and I have been actually in pastorship together since 2010. Our church is now celebrating our 10-year church anniversary because we officially became a church in 2010. But he's been passing around way longer than before we got married. I am the pastor's wife at Grace Beyond the Wall.
Oh my God. We had no problems at the last one.
None.
None. And now all of a sudden this is happening.
That's the
Yeah,
enemy.
Lady Trivia, if you there, you paused on us. But Lady Robin. So how long you and your husband have been pastoring together?
He let me see. You know what? Let me tell you this funny thing. He was a minister before I met him. And when I was introduced, we were introduced. And when I was introduced to him, I told them I don't want to. I didn't want to be minister. I was like,
You didn't want to be a pastor's wife. So you had been in church long enough. You didn't want to be no pastor's wife.
Yeah, I already knew. I was like, no, we can be friends. We can be friends. But anyway, long story short, so he was already ministering before I met him, but he became pastor 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness. So tell me this: do you now enjoy? Because there's some pastor wives that are walking around numb. That maybe that pastor's wife that is listening to me that they are numb. I've been there. I always tell everybody that I come in contact with that I am you and you are me, especially a pastor's wife, right? Because I know how it feels to be numb in a church. And I know we weren't going this way, and this is not even, we just was doing something to show something.
We just don't flow.
We just don't flow, right?
Let it flow.
Since we already here. And I know how it is to be numb. So can you say that you had a moment of being numb as a pastor's wife? In ministry, and I know for that person that's watching, you may just got judgmental. Let me help you real quick. Don't judge what you don't understand, but this is the reason for numbness, but don't mean that everybody is still there. So I want to say that disclaimer real quick, and you may have a problem with your pastor wife, so that's okay. But I'm just saying there are times when we become numb. So kind of share, how are you now after your numbness? Because I don't want to talk about the numbness because we're celebrating. We'll talk about that in the Pastor Wife Connection group, aka join us there. Yeah, in the Pastor Wife Connection group. But how are you now being the pastor's wife of your church? Do you enjoy it? Do you love it? Are you okay with it?
Is that for me or is that for Lady Trivia?
I'll say either one. Lady Trivia, either one. Who that's so
For me, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And like, well, in our other conversation, I believe that I was trained. Well, I didn't think I was being trained. I didn't know I was being trained. But running a church is a lot. Yeah. So you can't, hopefully, you've had some training. Everybody doesn't get that training. But I think we were prepared, not for everything. Because, there's a lot of things that come up that have nothing to do with ministry that you have to deal with. And usually that's the hurtful stuff.
Right.
Usually that's the stuff that hurts you. And, my husband likes to say, everybody talks about church hurt. They don't talk about pastor hurt. They don't talk about first lady hurt.
Well, glory.
And nobody comes back to apologize to the pastor and the first lady.
Yeah.
They do and they say what they want, but they don't come back. They don't circle back and apologize. But you have to suck that up and you have to keep on moving. You have to keep on loving them.
Right.
So, you learn to love them through the pain and through the trials and everything that's thrown at you. But I want to say, and I hope, and I can say this in the space that I'm in now, but down the road, it could change.
That's real talk. Right.
Because we've been through some things. So I think coming through now, it
will be this season you're good, but next season you may not be good. Yes. And I think that's very important, right? Lady Trivia, that's very important that each season changes. Just like people change, pastor wives, seasons change. There's a season that you love it, and there's a season you're asking yourself, Lord, not you learn from forget the Lord why, but you're in the season of, okay, Lord, what's next?
Yep. And it's always, one of the interesting things that happened to me over the weekend was learning that and I know different states do different things, but we are no longer celebrating having daylight savings time. Okay. Because with daylight savings time, it gives you an opportunity to regroup. I feel like that's that pastor wife thing. When you're a pastor's wife, it's always that revolving door that new season that comes along, and you have to take what you learned from the previous season
I
to
love
bring it into the next or leave the other stuff behind.
it. Yes.
And I can tell you no season has been the same as the previous season or the season before. And each season, once I became a little bit more mature, I'm still drinking milk, but I'm eating a little bit of meat right now. It's helping me to embrace the seasons, because the way that I felt that the church was, or how I felt about the church, I don't see it that way anymore. But I see how God is using me in the church, and that makes a difference. So, I mean, although our daylight savings is gone per se, I know that daylight savings for me as a pastor's wife is going to continue. And I
Come
just have
on,
to,
Groundhog's Day. Like, let me pause and
yeah,
tell y'all, we
yeah,
were not gonna go live, and I'm so glad that we did, because I keep looking over here because I see these notifications going off that Pastor Wives are joining Pastor's Wife Connection. So come on, Pastor's Wife, come join us and be a part. So this is letting me know that what y'all are saying is something that is amazing to these ladies, and that daylight saving times is true. We go through our seasons as pastor wives, and we go through those moments of one day you feel like you're coming, one day you feel like you're not. And one day you feel great, one day you feel like a nut, one day you're not. It just depends on what that day is. And I just say to that pastor's wife that's watching, man, whatever you do, don't give up. Like, at the end of the day, when all else fails, get around other people that are encouraging. See, the reason why I had them on a platform that we just did, and I'm not telling yet. The reason why I have them on a platform that we just did is because these are two women that support women all the time. You got Lady Trivia that support women and all the stuff that she does, man. Go follow her. And I'm gonna have her say at the end everything that she does, because she does a lot. Okay. All the things that she does. And Lady Robin, there's a lot that she does for women, and she brings women on her platform. And this is the reason why I thank God for our divine connection, especially on social media. Some people use social media for the wrong thing, but you never know who you may connect with and who you may, end up, learning and all that. And these are two ladies that I've seen and have allowed me to be a part of their platform. And so with that, these they're pastor wives, so they do this on the side, but they are walking in pastoralship, pastor's wifeship or pastoral. It's like you being a pastor, but you ain't the pastor. We all understand that. But you're right there alongside with him. What would you say to that pastor's wife that is watching this month? I thank God, New Destiny. Oh, by the way, New Destiny Church, shout out to you. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all for loving on your pastor's wife this month.
Amen.
I appreciate you guys. Every week they've been giving me some. I thank you.
Amen.
For that, which was not always the case, and I appreciate that. It means the world to me. Not that they have to do that, because nobody have to give you nothing. So thank you. Right. Sidebar. That was a sidebar. But what would you say to that pastor's wife that, like we talked about numb, but that says, I feel like I'm in the most loneliest place that I've ever been? Because I know, am I the only one that been there?
Self-care. It's okay to, look, you don't know how many times I'm not going to church today.
Wait, come on. What you say?
Say it again.
Oh, say that again.
I need you to go get my meat.
Please say that again.
Because you have to guard yourself, because you know what? When you're empty and you're depleted and you're wounded, how you gonna help somebody else?
I need to work on this.
You can't. So what happens is, for me, I will let me go get tended to at my home church, and then I can come back refreshed.
Wait, so you just said, because I love y'all. We're not even gonna go live and do this, but I'm here. I'm here. Listen, you just said I don't want to go to church. Most people ain't gonna tell nobody that. I don't want to go to church. Then you also said, and I'm gonna go to my home church, because I really don't want to be at the church that my husband is pastoring at. I think that is so vital. And some people think that people don't have that, or they judge that type of statement. But when you didn't been in a place of broken, a place of frustration, it is very important as a pastor's wife that you take the moment of self-care.
Yeah. And not only that, burnout too. Sometimes we're just doing so much and you just need to woosah sometimes. Just like, okay, I just need a break.
Come on.
Just give me a day.
Give me a day. And here's the thing, it allows you to refresh and to be restored as the pastor's wife. It allows you to be refreshed. And I think you just said something that most pastors' wives wouldn't say. Lady Robin.
True talk.
You just said something that most pastors' wives be like, oh my God, did she just say that? Yeah, I said that. I don't want to be here today.
And be okay with it.
Yeah.
See, one thing that was messed up in our church is we got testimony time. And I told y'all I wasn't all good. I had problems. And I would get up there and be like, I don't want to be here today, but but I had to learn how to say it in a nicer way. Yeah. And no matter how much I said it, God wanted me to be there. But I did know that I needed to take a mental break sometimes. Right. And that didn't necessarily mean it had to be on a Sunday, but I needed to be in a place where I can regroup on Saturday or go get my nails done or get my hair done so I could be prepared for whatever God was going to allow on Sunday. But self-care, when I learned self-care, I thought that was a dirty word. I thought I had to take care of everybody else. Wow. And I was so accustomed to taking care of everybody else. When it was time to take care of me, I was like, what? Go do what? Spend time. And I still struggle. What you say, go spend a day alone? That means I got to like myself. I don't want to like
myself. Here.
Come on.
But now I love it. And I will get up and go. I will get in my car and I will drive. But I thought that I wasn't supposed to. I thought that I had to support my husband with everything that was going on and put me aside so that the church can flourish.
Yeah, I love one of the things that you said, and great conversation. I love everything that you said. It doesn't have to be on Sunday, because here's the thing that I found out as pastor's wife. I'm about to say something to every pastor's wife that is watching, is that allowing your husband to pastor you. So you still need pastoring on Sunday.
Yeah.
Come here. You still need pastoring on Sunday because you need a word that's going to help you out for the rest of the week. So if you're going to take a break, pastor's wife, take it during the week. Get you a moment by yourself, no kids, no husband, and it's just you. And announce that to the house. Please make that announcement. Don't just do it and not make that announcement, because God is a God of order. Come here. Just let that sit in your spirit.
Announce it the right way. Don't do like
announce it the right way. I always say this. Timing, texture, and tone. You know me.
Yes.
You know me. Timing, texture, and tone. You got to do it the right time and right tone. You need all three. You got to do it the right time. It is not when you're watching a game. That ain't the time to tell him you're going to take a break. It's not when he just preached after church.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not then. It's not when you want to make sure it's the right time. You got to make sure it's the way you say it. It's not how you say it. It's the way you say it. And it's when you say it. You got to make sure you have the right time, the right texture. Make sure you're a little soft on it, baby. I need to have to talk to you. Can we talk for a minute? I need a break. I'm mentally drained from the people in your church. Not your church. That was the wrong one.
Get ready to say, wait a minute.
That was my petty side at the people at this church. I need a break. I love them and I love you, but not only are they working my nerves, but I need a little break from you.
Amen.
It's the way you say it, right? It's the way you say it. So here's the thing. You got to make sure that it's the right timing, but you still need the word to be able to marinate within you for the week. You still need the word. So I think that's very, very important. So my question to y'all real quick, and we're gonna jump off this thing. Listen, because we didn't come here for this, but I love it. So it's spiritual warfare. I know that's right. I love it. Here's the thing. My question is, how do you let your husband pastor you?
go
Pastor
to
White.
Pastor Tanya's class.
What she say? What she say?
Go to Pastor Tanya's class
Right, the Pastor
in
White.
real life. This is a plug, but this is for real. I did not, I mean, I was going to church for formality. I was doing what I needed to do for formality. But one thing that I learned from Pastor and Bishop Hardy is your husband is who God called to be your lead. And a lot of times things don't happen the way that we think they should and don't feel the way that we should. But there's so many blessings in allowing your husband to lead. There's so many blessings in allowing your husband to pastor you because we know them from a angle that a lot of other people don't and they will never know and should never know. But to allow your pastor to pastor, that's taking away the home life. That's saying, yeah, you're my husband at home, but you're my pastor at church. And what would you do if your husband wasn't your pastor? You still would have to follow your pastor. You don't know what's going on in your pastor's home if it wasn't your husband. So I started looking at things so different. And I I used to be like, oh, Antoine, blah, 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 or my husband, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm getting used to saying when I'm talking to other members in the church, Pastor Antoine or Pastor so and so, because if I don't respect him as my husband, as my pastor, then I can't expect other people to because they're following me as the pastor's wife as well. I used to be like, oh, they just following you. They look up to you, da 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 da. But no, they're looking at me as well. How are you treating your pastor? How are you treating the house of God? How are you treating the things of God? And he comes with the house of God. He comes with the things of God.
I love it. And,
Yeah.
and AKA, she learned to do Butterfly Academy mentorship for Pastor Wives.
Yeah,
Pastor Wives that I do in the month of March.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes. You join next year, or I might do another one. I don't know. You never know. In the middle of the year, but that's through Pastor's Wife Connect. Man, I'm telling you. Listen, at the end of the day, is knowing what your husband is to you in the church and outside the church. I want to say this because there are some people out there that now women are pastors. You know, they're the pastor of the church. I would say to that woman that you are the pastor and your husband pastor alongside with you, but at home he's still king. Yeah, period. At home he's still king. So just for that person. But Lady Robin, I'm gonna ask you real quick and then we're gonna go. Hey, how do your pastor husband pastor? How's he your pastor?
Well, I'm in agreement with everything that Lady Trivia said. But it is in the beginning, for sure, it was very hard for me to make that distinction. But one of the reasons I think too is because with us, even at our home church, we did everything together. You know, so it was like the hand in hand. And I mean, you know, he is the pastor and I'm definitely under him. But because we worked hand in hand so closely at the other church, when we made the shift to this church, it was like, you know, and we still do work hand in hand, but it was a little difficult, the shift of now you my pastor.
Yeah.
You know, like we not really be equal, but we're not really equal. Not there, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was a little something for me. And like she said, now calling him pastor, that was a shift.
Yeah.
Like, babe.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm sorry, pastor. Right? Like,
They're learning.
Pastor.
Yeah.
You know, but just I think in our talking and understanding that he's the head, he has the mission, and I'm the submission. You know, so my mission is up underneath his, but my submission is to help lift him up to do what he needs to do. And again, the respect thing in front of the people, how you treat him in front of the people, how the two of you interact in front of the people. And so just making sure that I'm making sure that he, you know what I mean? And I do the same thing. They don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you.
Right. Oh, man. And here's the thing. You find out, you know, as being pastor's wife, that the people really want to hear. There's a flavor. And y'all know my favorite saying. Yeah. Pastor's wife, you bring the flavor, man. You bring that flavor to the house, and they need your flavor. They need what I call it, fragrance.
Fragrance, yeah.
Yeah, they need
That's
your
the name of
fragrance.
that book.
The
Yeah.
name of my book.
Yeah.
Come here. Every pastor's wife, go get my book.
But
You are the fragrance of your house. And I
Yeah.
believe it's so important that every pastor's wife know that people want to hear their pastor's wife. People want to know, they glean from you and they learn from you. And in my mentorship, man, I teach that. Like you have a platform. And
Wow, I'm
you-
getting ready to tell you something that's gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
You might as well be prepared for Butterfly Academy Junior.
it's gonna blow up. Yep.
And the reason why, and I told her to put it in the chat, I just got a message from my daughter. And she said, if you learned that from your class, is there a class for pastor children?
I love it.
I'm like,
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
don't give them no idea.
Yes.
right.
Thank you.
So I'm just telling you, get
But you
ready
know what?
because yeah.
It's needed though. When I'm going to tell you why, because I was having I one of the segments that I was doing on my platform. I don't even remember what the title of it was, but somehow we ended up talking about the children, and I think it was with you. I think it was with you, right? And we were talking. I asked you about your girls. But my son, my oldest son, I had asked him something, and I had no idea the feelings and the things that he was going through because he was, the minister. His grandmother was the pastor. His father was the minister. Then he moved over to be. He's a pastor too now. And the things that he was keeping bottled up, the things that he said he would go through, the way people would treat him, expecting more of them, and just so many things that we don't even understand that they go through. I had no idea. So he held on to all of that. Now he's 36.
Wow.
And
and my girls, y'all know I bring them in the pastor's wife connection, but I might need to bring them. I call this my front yard. I need to bring them out in the public, and on my business page, and let them talk out there instead of privately, because there's some things that they shared in the pastor's wife connection group. I think it was the old one, not the new one. So I got to bring them back in the new one, but how the things they experience, when people leave, and people that, man, the stuff they went through that we had no idea that affected them, and didn't realize, just like we were affected, they were affected.
Right.
Even though we wouldn't say anything, but it was that they knew their parents were hurting. Like they knew that, and they shared that in the pastor's wife group one time. And so I got to bring them on, and don't make me have to do another class. Daughter that's watching, don't make me have to do another class.
The reality is
needed.
My girls, me and my husband girls, they are all over 21 now. And I watched the difference, and I remember like having a conversation with the women in the church, and I'm like, the same respect you give my husband, you need to give to my kids. And I knew the things they were experiencing.
Yeah.
But we were different. Our church was different.
Yeah.
But I just do believe that we don't give pastor wives the room to, I ain't gonna say grieve, but to let out our emotions. And the same thing with our children. And I know some of your story, and it just kind of resembles some of my story. And I just thank God that she's even free enough to say, yeah, what about us?
Right.
Because a lot of kids, they just sit back and don't feel like they can say anything.
Like mine, they just held it in and never said anything.
Yeah. And see, it's crazy because we do have a fellowship for pastors and leaders. And my daughter just started, my oldest, actually she's doing a PJ party. I might tell her do it virtual, but doing a PJ party, and she's done it before, pajama party with the pastor kids while we're talking to the pastors and their wives. And so even though we do it at our church, we do make it available to those. It's March the 4th Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you want to join virtually, you're welcome to do that. And I'll tell her to make it virtually, but she does an intimate setting with the PK kids because it is so necessary and it's so needed. Because here's the thing I found out, man, if the PK kid does not heal for real,
yes,
it's the value, because the same anointing. Oh, we got to get off field. And I'm gonna say that the same anointing that you and your husband carries in the ministry is trickled down on your children. It's a part of their DNA to be able to move and do things in ministry. And because of that, the healing process that we went through, our children went through, it made us closer as a family. I'm not saying that we're perfect. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it made us closer as and I'll share that with y'all, Pastor's Wife Connection in the group Thursday. But I'm gonna make sure I write that down. The things that we've seen God do through the healing process, because what happens is they can do things in the ministry that will enhance my baby is directing along with our director youth ministry. They going out of town this week to Louisiana. Like they are doing some things that are blowing my mind in the youth ministry, because she said, don't worry, I got y'all. I'll get in place. I'll do it. You understand what I'm saying? I'll do it. But it took her, man, that's a whole nother topic. I can't talk outside.
A whole nother time.
Yeah. But your babies can be used. So, baby, thank you for giving me an idea. I'm praying about it. Tell your baby thank you if she's watching. I appreciate her sharing that. But that is a great idea, because y'all need an outlet too.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, happy Appreciation Wife month. Thursday, join me, Pastor's Wife, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, in the Pastor's Wife Connection group, where we're going live. I have my spiritual daughters that are pastor wives that's going to be rocking now with me. And we're going to be talking about some stuff. I'm talking about some
stuff.
You understand me? Oh, that's your daughter. She say I'm here. Is that her?
That's
Hi,
my daughter.
baby. Hi, sugar. We're going to talk. I'll just give it a minute and let me pray about some things. I got a lot on my plate, but you just added. You about to birth out something. I don't know. We're going to look how they look. I got to talk to my babies. But happy Pastor's Wife Appreciation Month to women out there that are doing your thing and you're moving. We support you and get ready for some stuff that are happening. Thank y'all for rocking out with us. We were not supposed to be this long.
Amen.
No.
That was it.
Good to talk.
Coming to show something, but it's done. God bless you. Listen, Thursday night, Pastor's Wife, join us in the Pastor's Wife Connection group. It's a private group. We know everything is not private, but our goal is to make sure we stay a little private, okay, as much as we can in that group. So join us where we learn how to stay connected to God, stay connected to our marriage, and y'all know it. Stay connected to ministry. Y'all have a good day. God bless y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Amen.